No, but here's the thing. There's children are alone in a vehicle. There's a gun. Do you know there was just a news article where some toddler shot their brother in the head with a gun? That child is dead. And guess what? That toddler is never going to get over the fact that they killed their brother.
A pregnant mother, 3 kids in the car, a loaded gun she claims she didn't know about, and a judge who isn't buying a single excuse. Miss Ortiz walks into this courtroom thinking her attorney's story, the heat, the kids, the pregnancy is going to soften the blow. But Judge Boyd, he's already 2 steps ahead, because this isn't just about leaving kids in a car. This is about a weapon, a toddler who picked it up, and a tragedy that almost happened. Watch how fast this goes from sympathy to accountability.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Ortiz is a mother of 3 children. When this occurred, she was pregnant, many, many months pregnant. She had 3 children in her car that she was taking to school. She's not a single mother, but she's a stay-at-home mom, obviously. When she went to the school, it wasn't the summertime, it wasn't hot outside. It wasn't the wintertime, it wasn't cold. It was probably 70 degrees. At the elementary school that her young child goes to, she has to run them in. She's got 2 youngsters sitting in the back seat.
But here's the thing, and I understand where you're going with your explanation, but there is no explanation for this. One, I think everyone knows you don't leave children in vehicles, no matter if you think you're going to be going in for 2 seconds or a minute. Number 2, everyone knows, and I don't know what it is about Texas and other people loving their guns. You know, let me go to sleep with my gun. Fine. I'm fine with people owning guns, but if you're going to own weapons, you need to be responsible.
Judge, it's not her gun.
No, but here's the thing. There's children are alone in a vehicle. There's a gun. Do you know there was just a news article where some toddler shot their brother in the head with a gun? That child is dead. And guess what? That toddler is never going to get over the fact that they killed their brother, whether or not it's their fault or not their fault. And it's really not their fault, because there is a reason. What did they tell us in law school? The reason why you had, what is the term they use? The reason you had to have fencing around your pool. What kind of danger is that?
Did you invite it? Yeah.
No, it's
It's a
something.
nuisance.
Oh my God.
No.
Fighting the nuisance.
Defense attorneys. Thank you. It's an attractive nuisance. That's why you have to put a fence around it. And with regards to guns, what I've discovered in my time on this planet, no matter how often you tell children, this is not a toy, this is dangerous, they want to pick it up. I remember watching, what was her name? Kamora Lee Simmons. There was a clip, she was shopping for a home, right? And so there, she tells the realtor, I have little children and you're taking me out to a pool and there's an open fire, right? And she said, I know it's a fire, it's hot, but I want to put my hand in it because this just seems like there's water running over the fire. Let me touch it. So your child could have been killed, or either they could have ended up killing someone else. And if they would have killed someone else, you would have been charged with that. If they would have killed their sibling who was in the car, you would have been charged with that. And guess what? That toddler would never have been able to get over that. Even if they were able to black it out and their psyche is protecting them, at some point it would come up at some reunion or something that at one point they had a sibling. Do you understand?
Yes.
Judge, there's something that the court needs to be aware of.
Yes.
So she didn't know the gun was in there. Her husband left the gun in there, unbeknownst to her. Now, obviously, she shouldn't be leaving the kids alone because these are the sorts of things that can happen.
Mhm.
When she found out, she was mortified. She immediately, she almost went into labor, had to go to the hospital for several days. She had no knowledge that the gun was in
Where are
there.
the children?
Now, what?
Where are the children?
Where are they now?
Yeah.
They're with their babysitters right now.
Okay. And was Child Protective Services called? Because
Absolutely.
usually they are.
Absolutely.
So
They
what
were-
is the result of Protective Services?
They told me it was an isolated incident and
Yeah.
they're safe at
Shattered
home.
children returned.
I com-
So they fully investigated all of this. They, and
All right, so this is what I want you to understand. And I hear your attorney's argument and I appreciate his arguments because he has to represent you, but I'm trying to instill in you that at any second from something we did or didn't do, children can be taken away by CPS or because there's some danger. And based upon what I read, if you would have ran into a grocery store, right? And nobody, you were not parked in line and no other parents came, because the only reason why your child dropped that weapon and hopped over in the back seat is because another parent came to see what was going on. And then game over. And then you would have been devastated. Your child would have been devastated and you would have lost the child. You can't be doing that. And I can tell you right now, I'm going to order that you have no weapons in your home.
absolutely. Well, and that's why we insisted to have the affirmative finding of family violence, so that for the rest of her life, she can't have a firearm. Even if you give her deferred and she's not a felon, she can never own a firearm, because we don't want the husband to think, well, I can have a firearm, because none in the home. So that was a big sticking point on our point, because we wanted to make sure, because ultimately this is her husband's fault. Now, he wasn't charged, he's not culpable. They've dealt with that and they've dealt with him. He's obviously very upset about this, but I'm mad because it's his fault that she's in this position. But then again, she should never have left the kids in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here. But I think with the affirmative finding that we came up with, it's a way that you can ensure she can never have a gun, and more importantly, that husband can never have a gun in that home. Because that's the most important thing.
And the other issue, when you leave children alone unattended, a stranger can come up and take your children.
Anything
I don't
could
know
happen.
why in San Antonio, people think that, oh, I'm just going to let my child run around. That is why I really don't go to the mall. You know why? Because I end up having to watch other people's children because they're letting them walk behind them. And then it's like I'm a stalker trying to make sure this child is not lost. All right. Probation, are you ready? I'm ready, Judge. This is what the court is going to do. Count one, the court is going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs or the patch. Are you employed or stay at home?
I stay at home, but I am a part of the San Antonio Ready to Work program.
All right, proof of employment within 45 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrently. All right, with regards to this affirmative finding of family violence, how are you all saying that this is an affirmative finding of family violence?
Your Honor, I was trying to look it up, but the internet is down. I was trying to
Okay.
get the exact wording for you.
Because I'm trying to see the connection. Well, their thing of family violence and what it means. They say family violence means an act by a member of a family or household against another member of the family or household that is intended to result in physical harm, bodily injury, assault, or sexual assault, or that is a threat that reasonably places the member in fear of imminent physical harm, bodily injury, assault, or sexual assault.
So that's kind of where we were going with it, Your Honor, but if the court doesn't agree, I mean, it supports finding.
I mean, if y'all want to
Well,
file a motion and say that I'm incorrect, I will of course review it, but based upon my reading of the code, this is not an affirmative finding of family violence. So this is what I'm gonna do. 4 years deferred adjudication, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs or the patch, proof of employment within 45 days, no employment as a home health care provider or minors, $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. You all agreed on the affirmative finding of family violence, but my reading of the law and my reading of the fact pattern, the facts that y'all have, it's not an affirmative finding of family violence. So if that is what you all consider to be not following your plea bargain agreement, now's the time to let the court know.
No, Your Honor.
no, Your Honor.
All right. There's to be no possession of firearms or ammunition. There's to be no firearms or ammunition in the household. We can go off record. Here's the thing. I cannot stress enough to you what could have ended up happening. And it wouldn't have been good for you or anyone else. It wouldn't have been good for the people who would have had to come on the scene to address that. People who have weapons need to fully secure those weapons. And anything that you have around your household that is attractive nuisance needs to be secured.
Yes, ma'am.
That is another reason why when you have cleaning supplies, people say lock those from toddlers. When they start crawling, they get into everything. They put everything in their mouths. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Once you speak with probation, get your conditions, make sure you stay in contact with them.
Okay,
Oh, just 1 second. Yeah, I did do 4 years deferred. All right. Good luck to you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Judge.
Thank you.
4 years deferred, no firearms, no working with children, a $1,500 fine, and a closing warning she won't forget. Judge Boyd gave this mother a second chance, but he made sure she understood exactly how close she came to losing everything. Her kids, her freedom, her future. The question isn't whether the sentence was harsh enough. The question is, when you walk out of that courtroom, do you actually change? So what do you think? Did Miss Ortiz deserve deferred, or did the system go too easy? Comment below, hit like, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns.